What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Jaguar, Tim, for the time being at least. And I am one of your hosts, Matthew Grieve, and I have my beautiful co-host over here, Cody.
Cody Cole gaming y'all. And we should put that Trevor Lawrence in the intro, dude. You remember that?
Which one? Which time? He did it a few times, right?
Oh yeah, he did. Oh, dude, the AFC championship, the AFC game. I mean, oh come on, the Chargers game,
Charge
right?
game. Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time, man. Doesn't that feel like that was forever ago, though?
Oh, dude, it's like just gotta sit here and relish in it. Like every time I think about it, like as a memory or whatever, it's like I gotta hold that tight and just keep that forever.
Yeah.
It was so fun being at that game with my wife, and she had an amazing time, and we finally have a thing together now, and
Right.
that's Jaguars are bringing people together now, dude.
Right. Jaguars are about love, right?
Yeah.
The love. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, so we're post. Here we are, post Super Bowl. We're hot and heavy in the legal tampering time, which is a weird term, but it just feels like, I was at that game too against the Chargers, and it's just like it almost feels like a dream. Partially because we've sucked for so long, um, but I think what for me also what makes it different is the last time we were decent with Blake Bortles, the 2017 team, is even after we went all the way to the AFC Championship and Miles Jack wasn't down,
Yeah,
like even after that season, it was like you didn't believe, right? It just you knew it was a Cinderella run. It was nice. We had some pieces, but it didn't feel like we had the pieces, right? Where
right.
this time it feels a little bit different. And I want to say it's because we're legitimate at the QB position.
Yep.
And that's where you win championships, right? At least now. Now that's where you win championships. So
I love Blake Bortles to death, man. I would have a beer with him anytime if he ever wants to reach out to me and do that, whatever. I'm totally down. But we have Trevor Lawrence now, and he's great to go to Waffle House with. So
right. Yeah, still awesome. That is 2017 was great.
yeah,
I'll take it. But it just feels different and it feels good. So let's dive right into it. So kind of like we had just said, we're in the legal tampering period. A lot of interesting moves going on. I think for the Jaguars, it's the lack of moves. But I guess we'll start off with those that have left the building. Those that have decided to go on to dead grass, not greener pastures. They are leaving the greener pastures for dead grass. So, um, who do you want to start us off with?
I guess we can start off with JT, Jawan Taylor. And I don't know, man. Like, this doesn't feel like I can't believe he's gone. I'm going to miss him. So it feels like he was a part of the old regime and he flew under the radar that entire time. And now that we have all these pieces coming together, it's like, okay, the spotlight is on different things now. And it's like, he was one of those people that just, the offensive line as a job is a terrible thing to like have a focus on. And it's because if you're great at it, nobody cares. Nobody notices. Nobody even sees you. But if you suck at it, everybody is on you. They're on top of you. They're coming after you with fire and pitchforks. So, with that being said, here's my fire and pitchfork. 7 penalties
Here we
last
go.
year. That's a lot for somebody that's not a rookie. And then it was, let me see here because I got it written down. It was 5 sacks that he caused. And every single one of those, because we have Trevor Lawrence as our quarterback and because there's hope down the field, it feels like those were like missed opportunities by millions, right? We could have won games because we lost games by single digits last year. So, um, yeah, man, I'm not depressed that he's gone. Yeah, I enjoyed his time here because he was a Jaguar, but not anymore. He's a Chief. So
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a huge Florida State Seminole fan, massive. Go Noles, right? So seeing us pick a Gator always gut punch. It's like now I got to root for you. Obviously, I got to root for him because he was protecting our savior, Trevor Lawrence. Um, but I think he did well. I know he graded well in the pass protection. I know he wasn't very great at run protection, but our bread and butter this year was the pass protection. So, are we going to take a hit with him leaving? I think so. I think partially he is a veteran press. He is a veteran presence, right? It's always tough to lose not only a veteran but a guy who's been part of this team for several years. Um, but at that price, um, I will open the door for you. I will load the car, and I will call the Uber for you. Um, at that price, that was way too much. Also, they're planning on moving him to left tackle. Now, I looked back on Jawaan Taylor's history. The guy has only started, I want to say, 2 or 3 games at left tackle, and that was back in college, years ago. So he's a right tackle through and through. Now, I guess the interesting thing is the Chiefs, their left tackle who just they let walk in free agency. He came to the Chiefs as a right tackle, and they brought him in to play left tackle. So I guess they're hoping that history will repeat itself and their previous right tackle moving to left tackle will work out. Um, I don't know. To be, I want to say the third or fourth highest paid left tackle. Um, is I don't know. It's an eyebrow raiser, but I guess if you've got Patrick Mahomes in the backfield, that'll cover up some of those misfires on Jawaan Taylor's part. So I don't know. Good riddance, I guess.
Yeah, it sounds like some Andy Reid magic, dude.
Yeah. Again, I would have been happy if we kept him, but not at that money. I'm fine. And you know what? I'm not mad, Jawaan Taylor. Get your money, and also you're playing at a premier position. And like you said, if you mess up, they're gonna know, and they're gonna really know now that you got the $80 million check on you. So
Right, exactly.
let's see. We lost Chris Manhertz as well. We don't have to talk much about him. He was a tight end. We're all right. We're tight end. We've got Luke Farrell, Dan Arnold, and obviously Evan Ingram. We're hoping to sign at a longer contract, but with the Broncos, 2 years, $6 million. That's I don't know. I really don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, that surprised me, man. Came out of left field. Yeah. Who? who are we talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how probably how most fans feel. Evan Ingram is the golden boy now, and if he goes down, we got Dan Arnold, we got Luke. So Chris was just the next after next man up. So
Right.
not a real hit.
Yeah. So I want to say that's it for notable losses. Now let's talk about Jaguars we've kept in the promised land. I'll start this one off. We'll make it easy and simple. We'll go right off the bat with CJ Beathard. So CJ Beathard, we got him on a 2-year deal, $4.5 million. He can max it out at $6.5 million. I'm super happy with that. Hopefully we never have to. Hopefully he never earns his max value, because if he earns his max value, typically that means he was on the field playing, right?
Right.
So I'm happy with it. Again, continuity, and at times he's flashed when he's been in. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that signing.
Yep. Yeah. There isn't much to say there. It's just a piece that you kind of have to have in this game, and he's as good as any.
Yeah. All right. Who do you want to bring in?
Let's talk about our golden boy, the heart of the team, the guy that has that dog in him.
Yes.
Yeah, old Dewey, boy.
There we go.
Yeah, re-signing him was like, I was judging the organization off of what they did with him, because he was such a centerpiece in the culture of that team going into the playoffs. And if they just casted him aside, like, he's not that great, blah 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 blah, this, that, and third, I would have been upset. But getting him for this contract that he's got, and making sure he comes back to his home and where fans love him and enjoy him is a great move in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I can't really say much more to that. What's going on, Brian? Brian Olive, I believe Brian is one of Josh Allen's friends. So Josh Allen, I believe, is on vacation with his family, so he wasn't able to join us tonight. So, but yeah, so Andrew Ringward, love it. 3 years, 9.6 million with 6 million guaranteed. I mean, I think that was a hometown discount. I know he's not going to make anybody's top 10 list, right, as far as skill set goes and
Right.
being, but a lot of times last year he was a playmaker. He showed up in pretty much almost every play. Now, part of that you could say maybe it's because he was in the wrong place and he was catching up late. I don't know. But like you said, he was a huge part of the culture, and culture was excuse me, I think was proven to be a huge missing piece to our franchise, because the year before we all know what happened with Urban Miller and that nonsense. Having some legitimate locker room guys, presence guys that can help motivate the team is awesome. So I'm glad he's back. I'll probably buy a jersey of his.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, happy to see him back.
I,
Next
I was
guy. Oh.
I would say he's our Rudy, but Rudy was all kinds. So
So next guy, let's see. We brought several back. Roy Robertson Harris. He signed a 3-year, $30 million extension. So it wasn't necessarily a re-signing, but we extended Roy Robertson Harris. Again, I think that's just a continuity. He was very good for the team on the defensive line, and I don't know, 10 million a year average. I'm happy with that.
yeah, it's good. We need big guys in the interior, so he would be a roadblock, and that'll stop some people. So
Next up on the board,
we got Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram.
Yeah, dude.
I've heard of her.
Man, what a catch out of this! Like coming from the Giants to play with the Jags or whatever, and dude, Giants fans were trashing him.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Are you serious? This dude has been. You're not blaming it on your quarterback. I mean, how do you, like somebody throws up a ball, whatever? It's got to be in the vicinity. You know what I mean? And you're gonna blame it on Ingram? Like really? Like he came down here and balled out because he's always been like on par, to be like a great tight end. And Trevor Lawrence just showed and proved that. And you need tall, you need tight ends because especially with like second year quarterbacks, first year quarterbacks, stuff like that, because those are the guys that you could see over the pocket real well. And he's hitting them. He's hitting them, and he's doing great. I love this re-signing, and it made again, just like with the Dewey re-signing, my faith in the organization has gone up a little bit. So I was starting to get my hopes up again, man. It feels good. It feels good to have that during the season, and it feels good, really good to have it during the off season, because if things click on both sides, then the sky's the limit.
Yeah. I think Evan Ingram, I'm super happy we're bringing him back. Although I hope it's not on the tag. I know he's sitting on the tag right now. I hope he starts the season or comes into training camp on a long-term contract. It's just been so nice to finally have a legitimate pass-catching tight end as part of our franchise. No offense to Mercedes Lewis. I love the guy when he was here, but Evan Ingram is a true, pure pass-catching tight end. He's got the attributes of somebody who could be a wide receiver. I know, like you said, coming from the Giants, I know there were some Giants. I mean, Giants fans, New York fans are just crazy, right? The Giants did do pretty good last year. They came into town and beat our butt, but I think they're kind of figuring things out within their organization as well. Um, but I think it was, you know, smart move to bring him back, even though it's under the franchise tag. Hopefully, we can make that a long-term contract. Then I would truly be happy. But I mean, I'm happy with what the front office management has done. I just wish again we would have locked him up for more than just the franchise tag.
I mean, could it be they're like, they're going through the contractual like agreement part?
Right.
People are sitting down and they're like, no, it doesn't look good. Send it back and redo it and stuff. That takes a while. So
Right.
it could happen still. So I got my hopes up, I guess.
I guess what I was hoping for was, we know between Ingram and Taylor, you want Ingram, right? He's the one that's going to put points up on the board, help Trevor Lawrence feel better about himself. But it would have been nice to have actually signed Ingram to contract and then tagged Juwan Taylor. That would have been nice. But we'll be happy with what we got. We can walk a little into there or something. We've got options. I think we've got some good depth there. Although, since we are having to pull somebody from the depth chart, that kind of hurts our depth chart, right? So, we'll see if we address that later on. So for our next person we kept, let's see, who did we kept? We got Andrew. Here we go. I wouldn't say we necessarily kept him, but Calvin Ridley. We didn't really keep him. We got him during the regular season, right? And if you're looking at the wide receiver market right now and how it's shaping out to be, I think what we did with Calvin Ridley during the season was such a smart move. Because I think if we were to be doing it now, if the Falcons were to have waited till now and he got reinstated, I don't think they would have let him go, personally. Or if they would have, I think they would have asked for more. I think the asking price would have been higher. Although if Calvin Ridley does turn out to be who we hope he turns out to be, I think it turns it into a second round pick, which I'm totally okay with. Calvin Ridley, so he was reinstated. I guess the only problems I have there, if I have any, if you want to be picky, is he hasn't played since October of 2021. So there's a little rust there, but we've seen in the past plenty of players not take time off, but be away from the game for years at a time and still perform at a high level. So I'm hoping he'll have the same. He had 90 passes caught for 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns back in 2020. Just to add that to what Christian Kirk has done, Evan Ingram, the Jones and Jones law firm, what they've done, ETN in the backfield. I think it'll be a fantastic, scary pass catching core.
Oh yeah, I'm buying Madden and I'm playing with the Jags. I've done it before, but this time, whatever, it's gonna feel right. It's gonna feel good. The thing I want to say about Calvin is that letter that he wrote to the Jaguars fans. Some people play football because they have the body type. It gets them the girl. It's fun to hang out with your friends and stuff, and it's nice to hit people. In my case, whatever. That's why I played, at least. But he played it because he had a passion for it, and like he people's lives depend on it. Like he grew up in very humble beginnings, and he's dealt with like insane injuries in his time as an NFL player that he's coming off of that are he's I would say he's at 100%, or he will be 100% by the time the season starts. And that's going to be a scary guy. I wouldn't want to stand across somebody that depends on this game, because then you're just an obstacle. And Calvin Ridley is going to be insane. And we got it for a steal. We stole Calvin Ridley. And that feels insane, like really good. So, again, hopes are going up. No more. Should we apologize to Trent? Is it that time yet?
Should we apologize? Oh man, see that's something I've been battling. No, I will say no.
Okay. All
I
right.
know. You got to live in the moment, right? You got to live. What have you done for me lately, right? So,
Yeah.
Matthew Briggs has come on and said Texans winning the free agency. You know, go ahead and win free agency. We've been there, done that, and look what it's got us.
Yeah. Hey, win a playoff game.
Yeah. Yeah. So Calvin Ridley, again, if he performs to where I hope he does, I wouldn't say we got him for a steal because it'll, like I said, I think it turns into a second round pick if he hits a long term contract with us. So I think he'll equal his value, which I guess you could say is a steal because a lot of times teams want to win, right?
Yeah.
Win the trade. Yeah, I saw that that letter to the fans. That was nice to see. And like you said, it's nice to see players that want to play. How many times have we drafted or signed players that in the end just didn't have that passion? CJ Henderson, Telvin Smith, right? Those guys, like you said, they had the body types, right? They were elite at what they did. Just didn't have the passion. Obviously, with Telvin Smith, there's some other things involved, right? But the passion for football didn't overcome whatever else was going on in his life. Right. And then CJ Henderson, who, man, what a fall from grace for that guy. Okay,
that's Florida for you.
I can't say much. Telvin Smith is from the Knowles, so
yeah. I'm a Dogs fan. I don't know if you knew that.
Say again.
So I'm a Dogs fan. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, you're a Dogs fan. Okay,
yeah.
okay. See, I like the Dogs because they beat the Gators a lot.
Yeah. So. Oh man, I've been to some games where they hurt my feelings. I've been to I'll tell you a story real quick. My wife got tickets for me, and I'm sitting right behind the Gator band. And this is when we had Nick Chubb in the backfield, and we're playing. My God, I can picture his face, but never mind. Forget about it. So I was about to say the head coach, but I can't remember his name right now. He went to South Carolina for a little bit. Now he's coaching for the Dogs again as some sort of like. Anyway. So I'm thinking like, okay, Chubb, we got Chubb in the backfield or whatever. This is going to be like Chubb gets a touchdown, like runs it for like 30 something, 40 something yards or whatever. And I'm like, all day, baby, this is going to be all day. I'm talking mad junk right to these people. And it didn't happen like that. They beat us. And I don't know how, till this day, I don't know how. They didn't have anybody there really that was of note. And like I say, we're sitting right behind the Gator band, and this is why I hate y'all. Go Gators! Here we go. Every 2 seconds is so annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry for going on that tangent, man. My bad.
No, I love it. So, are we missing anybody that of note for who we've gained?
Can we talk about releasing Shaq Griffin?
Who?
Shaq. Yeah.
Who?
Shaquille Griffin. Dude, thank God.
I kind of don't even want to talk about him. Like,
I mean, we're getting rid of people that makes us feel this way, and we're gaining people that make us feel the opposite.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, this organization is starting to click in here.
But remember when we signed him, like all the fanfare and how excited everybody was, and all the all the ESPNs, and we're just saying what a great pickup, and
that's why you can't believe the hype, man. And a lot of the players that we've got, whatever, this isn't hype. These are people that showed improved, and the people that we have released or whatever were hype. So,
bruh, yeah. So yeah, releasing him freed up a lot of money for us. So I know we came into the week, we were over the cap, and now we're under the cap, and still have some room to sign some people. I mean, we're not, flowing with cash right now. Like I want to say the Texans are I want to say they're doing all right with the cap. Let me see.
Dude, they sound like 8 people or something like that.
Over the cap.
Hey, Briggs, you still in the comments, man? How many people y'all signed?
Cap space. Here we go. Close. So right now, the Jaguars, according to overthecap.com, we have 6.9 million, so roughly $7 million left in cap space. So that includes after signing the rookie class. So that's so we have 7 million left to be able to pay somebody. So we'll see what we do with that. Let's see, the Colts actually are sitting at 18 million. And the Texans are sitting at 14. Effective cap space. Yeah, so we'll see what they do there. I don't know. What do you think in these first few days? Do you think any of the teams have caught up with us by their moves? Because let's be honest, we are atop of the fan. We are atop of the division. It's us. Yeah. Everyone is making moves to beat the Jaguars. Has any team made any moves that you think have closed the gap?
No. Not even close. Unless like the Colts like grab Lamar Jackson somehow.
You think that's possible?
No, it's not possible.
I don't think it's possible, and I also don't think it's like what will that do for them, right? Like I don't even know, because you're giving up 2 first-round picks if you do that.
Yeah,
that's massive, and they have a lot of needs. I don't think they'd be doing that. That'd be crazy. I hope they do, because we beat Lamar. We beat him.
Yeah,
at home. Although his kicker, did you go to that game?
No.
I went to that game. I'm sure you saw it on TV though, right?
Yeah. What was
From 75 yards out, you still got to be like sweating bullets, right? When he's going to kick the ball, because you never know. Well, cool. Let's see where we are.
I don't know, man. I was sweating bullets a lot this season, to be honest.
Yeah, cardiac cats, right?
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
All right, so we have a few minutes left. Is there anybody in particular you've got your eye on in free agency?
So there, our needs are cornerback, defensive line, offensive line. I feel like, it's just the key piece guys or whatever, and you need a key player in the cornerback position. And we have one in Tyson Campbell, but he can't do it all by himself. So we can pick that up in the draft, or we can pick it up in free agency. Either way, it doesn't really matter to me too much. The defensive line, Arden Key came through for us last season, and re-signing him would make my hopes for the offseason come up higher than they already are. But with the stars aligning and the Ravens falling apart and the constellations constellating, Calais Campbell is out there, dude. Please, Mayor, come home to us. We need you now more than ever. The rebirth of Saxonville on his shoulders. I will go downtown and start a one-man parade until people start joining me if he comes back. I don't know how you feel about it.
Ditto. Literally on both what you said. I think Arden Key is huge. I think first, let's get Arden Key back. Guy was massive, right?
Yeah.
20 quarterback pressures. That's huge, right? That's almost one a game. It only takes one play to make a difference, to help make a big difference in the game. And then I'd like to see Calais Campbell back, for all the warm and fuzzies. I think he still does have something to offer outside of not just his veterans presence, but I think he still has some left in the tank.
Yeah.
And coming to a winning team, I think that'll help even more. I think it's going to happen? I don't think so, because the regime has no ties to the guy, right? So to them, it's going to be at the end of the day, who's going to help us get a win. And do they think he's the one? I don't think so. I think, like you said, cornerback.
I mean, if you go through the free agency and that guy's not there for you or whatever, and he is with Calais, let's be honest, and you go to the draft or whatever, and that guy doesn't fall to you, or you don't like try to move up and get him, whatever. Then what else do you do? And I if it's like for a 1 year deal, and then they try to like go into next year's draft or whatever, and get somebody that's because it's never going to be him, but it'll be somebody similar or whatever. That would make sense to me. Arden Key though, like you said, that you only had like a couple of million to play with there in cap space. You can't even do both. It doesn't seem like it.
Right.
So out of the two, that's tough for me because, like I said, show and prove, and then hype. Is Calais hype now? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. And Arden showed and proved last year, so it's like I wouldn't want to be in that spot because I would hate myself regardless of the decision I made, and
right.
And our organization is going to feel the wrath of some Jaguars fans on Twitter with no life.
Yeah. But I think if the front office had to pick between the two, I don't even think Calais Campbell's even on their radar. Arden Key's only 26 years old. That's the guy I'm going to keep.
Okay.
If it comes down to money, right?
Yeah.
I know they play two different positions, but I try to keep Arden Key.
Well, it's just that Calais is in the interior, right? I know he's
on the line.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Was he on the edge?
I was trying to think. I remember seeing him on the edge.
Yeah, he's a defensive end. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
And I think we're fine there. We need to keep growing Josh Allen and freaking Walker. I'm still upset about that pick. We're almost a year later, and I'm still upset about the Trayvon Walker pick. Obviously, if you could redo it knowing what you know now, you'd go with Sauce, right? Sauce Gardner. But if I could go back and redo it without knowing how they were going to perform, I would go with Hutchinson still. Aiden Hutchinson. So, although I think...
Even though sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, I think Walker, I want to say technically in the long term, Walker will be a better fit for their scheme. But you're picking number one overall. You pick a guy that's the best at what he does, right? In the draft. So, but yeah, you're a dog. I get it.
And there's like, as soon as I go from being a Georgia Bulldog to the NFL, like, much love to him. I hope the best for him and stuff like that. But
right.
If they play against the Jaguars or they're on the Jaguars, I don't care. Like too much, I still keep up with some whatever, like Roquan Smith and Nick Chubb, of course. But it's like I saw what he did in college, and I saw that potential. I saw what our organization saw, and I probably would have made the same move because it's like, oh, I got a Roquan Smith right here, dude. Put him in my back pocket. Like defense is all set in that position or whatever, especially after the one that we had before or whatever. So, but with the things going and how the season went, it was like, where is he? Where is he?
Yeah.
Where's the stat sheet? Like, you got to be a big playmaker. You're first round draft pick. It's like, where that can't happen. That shouldn't happen.
Right.
Could he make a miraculous? And it wouldn't even be that miraculous or whatever. It's just like doing your damn job, to be honest.
Yeah.
Come back in the next season or whatever, of course. And then would I sit here and eat all my words? Yeah. But and I hope that does happen. But yeah, man, like disappointing. Yeah.
I mean, it's not his fault, right? He doesn't draft himself. Obviously, you want to be the number one overall pick. Everybody wants to be number one overall pick if they draft, but he didn't draft himself there. They did, and they drafted him for potential. Again, you have the number one overall pick. I've said this before. You don't draft number one overall because the dude's potential, right? Potential. Yeah. No, hey, Aiden Hutchinson, he knows what he's doing. He can do this. You get him, right? And not only off of potential, but you're playing him in a different position than what he played in college. So it's like you're playing off potential, and the guy needs some ramp up time. Like you have to sit there and work him through it. And apparently the guy's an idiot and forgets that he's in front of millions of people making stupid decisions on the field, throwing quarterbacks 10 feet down the field after the whistle's been blown. So, he made a lot of fantastic moves, and I think there's potential there. Unfortunately, for me as a fan, he's got a long way to go. I think he can do it.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in those situations before where you have like the magnifying glass over you and stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like everything that you were so good at, like, oh, I can't even. Like, so right. I feel for him, I really do. But there's some people that wouldn't do that. There's some people that that once that pressure's on, they turn into diamonds. So.
Which is interesting because it's like the only thing you do, right? Like,
yeah,
it's not like you're in a pickup league, or if you're like in the YMCA league that you do it a couple times a week. It's like it's literally all you do, and it's literally all you've done for probably decades of your life, right?
Yeah.
So, in my experience, if you've perfected a skill or an attribute or a trade or something, like even if you get stage fright, your body and your brain are just going to do what you've trained to do, right? So it's like even if he does get scared, his body's going to know what to do, like naturally, so I don't know.
They make excuses for like first year quarterbacks that come into the game, whatever, how things are quicker, how you just got to slow it down, whatever, and they got so much to remember. The pressure's on them always.
Yeah.
Those excuses don't happen for hardly any other player out on that field. And
sure.
And for him, whatever, they came down. People came down hard on him, whatever, and I get it, and it's hard not to be that way, because like you said, this is a job, and you got to go out there and you got to perform. And if you got picked number 1 overall, that magnifying glass is burning you.
Yeah. I mean, and I think the problem is Aiden Hutchinson had 9.5 sacks, 3 interceptions. Trayvon Walker had 3.5 sacks, 1 interception. So it's like he's going to always be compared to that. And again, it's not his fault that he was drafted there.
Right.
That's on the front office. And again, I would have picked Aiden Hutchinson, but I hope the best for Trayvon Walker. I hope he figures it out, and I hope he becomes, a Hall of Famer, first round ballot Hall of Famer. So I think we're about out of time. Any last words from Cody Cold Gaming?
Let me see. There's a rumor that the Jacksonville versus the Bengals will be opening Monday Night Football.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that is the Super Bowl to me.
Yeah.
That's the game that I wanted to see, that everybody wanted to see, I think. Except like Chiefs fans. So
yeah.
So I'm super excited for that. I hope it turns out to be true.
Dang, that'd be an interesting game. I like Joe Burrow a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I like his swagger that he's got on and off the field.
Yeah, I didn't at first because he looked like some kid that listens to NSYNC or could be in NSYNC. But yeah. Oh, it's funny. I think that's probably the first time I heard that. That's hilarious. But yeah, man, there's just this level of cool that he has or whatever. Yeah. And that's awesome. I mean, and this fashion sense, like it's crazy how like Cam Newton can like dress like that, whatever, and everybody's
Cam
like,
Newton?
Yeah. And then Joe does it, whatever, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!"
I don't know. The stuff that
Scam
Newton wore. Scam Newton wore some pretty crazy outfits.
I don't like Cam either. As a Georgia fan, he played for Auburn, and anyway. I don't want to get into all that, whatever. But Joe Burr is a really cool guy, and
Joe Burr.
Yeah, and him and Trevor Lawrence going at it, dude. I'm so excited. I want the season to start tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I'm excited too. Well, I think we're gonna call it a night there. Thanks everybody for joining us. Be on the lookout. Please follow our socials. We've got some big things going on with Jaguar. We are going to be rebranding to the Jaguars Fan Battle. It's gonna be really awesome. The new logos, the new branding should be coming out here in the next few weeks. So keep an eye out on that. Please go follow Fan Battle Sports. You know, we've got all the socials here, Fan Battle, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, everything, you name it. Lots of really awesome content coming out daily. You can follow me, the Jags Fan Battle right below. I'm also at Matthew G Sports, and then Cody. Where can we find you?
Cody Cole Gaming, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, and
Cool.
and TikTok. I forgot about that one.
Tiki Taki.
Yeah,
Taki, where the Chinese are watching us.
yeah, dude.
But anyways, guys, thanks again for joining us, and we will see you next week.